Weekend sports anchor William Galloway joins us live with more. William?
Good evening, Tamika. Alabama football made history today in Arkansas, becoming the first SEC team to ever win 10 SEC games in a regular season. In Fayetteville, the Crimson Tide defeated Arkansas 52-3. The Bama defense was out in full force as they racked up a season-high 8 sacks and only allowed Arkansas 188 total yards of offense. Linebacker Christian Harris left the game in the first quarter and did not return. So after the game, Coach Saban gave an update on his status.
You know, Christian hurt his shoulder. I don't know exactly how bad it is yet. They'll probably, I don't know, you know, Doc said they're going to do an MRI on it. And he said he didn't know for sure the extent, but that would determine whether he could come back and play this week or how long he would be out. And I can't really comment on that right now.
I'll have more on Alabama football and plenty of other sports coming up shortly here on WVUA 23. Reporting live, William Galloway, WVUA 23 Sports. Good evening, everyone. I'm William Galloway. Alabama rolled over Arkansas today 52-3 in Fayetteville. The game marks the 23rd straight contest in which Alabama has scored 35 points or more. So let's look back at how it all happened. All good things start with defense, and Christian Barmore steps up and sacks Felipe Franks, one of 8 Alabama sacks today. Will Reichard puts Alabama on the board first with a 45-yard field goal. He was perfect today. And later in the first quarter, tied at 3. Arkansas on to punt, and guess who's deep? That's right, Devontae Smith. And he's dangerous if he gets a hole. He gets one there, he breaks the tackle, and he is home free. 84 yards on the punt return to the house, 10-3 Alabama with 2:36 left in the first quarter. Second quarter now, Najee Harris bursts in for a 5-yard touchdown run. Najee and Brian Robinson combined for 27 carries, 100 yards, and 5 touchdowns today. That touchdown from B-Rob puts Alabama up 31-3. And now in the fourth quarter, Jace McClellan into the game, gets the handoff from Bryce Young, and he's going to take off. 52-3, Alabama wins the game. Here's Coach Saban after his 98th straight win versus an unranked opponent.
All in all, I was really pleased. We got to play a lot of players today. Would have played more, was ready to put some more guys in, and you know, a guy ran 75 yards for a touchdown. So. But, you know, I'm really proud, and I want everybody to enjoy what's been accomplished to this point. But obviously, you know, the focus has to be on what we need to do next week to have a chance to compete well against a very good Florida team.
Mike Leach and Mississippi State hosting Auburn, and Gus Malzahn in Starkville tonight. First quarter, Bo Nix looking for his main target, that's Seth Williams, but it's batted away by Colin Duncan. A heads-up defensive play for Mississippi State there. Auburn settles for a 27-yard field goal from Anders Carlson, 3-0 Tigers. In the second quarter, Mississippi State's Will Rogers out of the shotgun, and looks like he's got a man, but Spivey can't pull it in, tips the ball up, and nearly turns it over. So Mississippi State settles for a 41-yard field goal from Brandon Ruiz. Lots of field goals in this one. There were more penalties than points in the first half. Auburn comes out on top 24-10. In action around the SEC today, Georgia goes on the road and gets the win at Missouri 49-14, and Tennessee wins the rivalry game versus Vanderbilt 42-17. Also in a big night game tonight, LSU with the upset over number 6 Florida 37-34. So a huge win there for the Tigers. And before we continue with more college football highlights, some breaking news in college football today. Arkansas State hired Butch Jones as their next head coach. He becomes the 31st head coach in program history. And Butch left Alabama yesterday with the Crimson Tide as an analyst. And he leaves the state of Arkansas today with a new job. I'll have more on that story tomorrow night. President Trump was on hand for the 121st Army-Navy game that took place today at West Point. It was a foggy day for sure. And I'll tell you what, if you like defense, this was your game. 279 total yards of offense and 12 first downs between the two teams. Army won it 15-0 off of a touchdown, 2 field goals, and a safety. The first shutout for Army in this game since 1969. This afternoon, UAB went on the road to defeat Rice 21-16. The win makes UAB the first team in Conference USA history to win 3 division championships in a row. Bill Clark and his Blazers are now set to face Marshall for the Conference USA championship next Friday night in West Virginia. The annual Alabama versus Mississippi High School Football All-Star Game took place at the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery today. Alabama got the win 19-7 over its neighboring state. Crimson Tide commit JaQuincy Kool-Aid McKinstry was named the Alabama team MVP. He had 2 interceptions and 76 receiving yards to help end Alabama's 3-game losing streak to Mississippi. Alabama men's basketball took on Clemson in Atlanta tonight. In the first half, James Rojas picks up the steal, and he's going to go coast to coast but dish it off to Josh Primo, who lays it in off the glass. And later in the game, Herb Jones driving and goes up off the glass as well. Something about that left side and that glass, Alabama found a lot of points tonight. Before the half, Rojas left side drives, another left side basket. Alabama scores there, and in the second half, Alabama can't pull it out. The Crimson Tide loses 56-64, so Clemson beats Alabama. That's it for sports. I'm William Galloway. We'll be right back after this.